Hello again. I hope you will join me in finishing Chapter 9 of Charlene Darling, A Very Slow Turtle by Beck. And Chapter 9 was The Council of Turtles and started out with a picture of Ralph Michael, the head of the council. The council had just given advice, and the council consisted of Ralph Mal, Gum Chewer, and Ralph Lauren, Wreck-It Ralph, and Ralph Michael. They had just exited through a red door when the door opened and closed again. Let's see who came through. "What did I do with my glasses?" Ralph Michael mumbled as he scanned the table and scratched his head. "I'm constantly losing them." Then he turned his attention to Charlene Darling, staring at him with wide eyes and mouth. "Are you going to burp again?" "No, sir," Charlene Darling replied adamantly. "But that wasn't your concern anyway, was it?" questioned Ralph Michael as he towered over the young turtle. "No, sir," Charlene answered again. Ralph Michael patted down his robe in search of his glasses as he spoke. "Have you come to any conclusion about your slow situation?" "No, sir," Charlene said a third time. "If anything, I'm more confused." Ralph Michael walked behind the table and started pulling out drawers. "Well, now, let's retrace our steps, which just so happens to be what I'm doing. You feel like you are too slow to function properly in society." Ralph Michael suddenly stopped, busily looking through the drawers. "Is that it?" "Yes, sir," Charlene said and nodded. "And this causes you and others a great deal of remorse, correct?" Ralph Michael asked. "Yes, sir," Charlene answered softly. "And you arrived at this conclusion because of your last job at..." Ralph Michael started snapping fingers in effort to remember. "Speedy Burger," Charlene Darling said to aid him. "And this Speedy Burger was your life. It meant everything to you," Ralph Michael said with emotion as he sat on the edge of a large wooden table. "No, it was just a job," Charlene stated. "Was just a job meaningful to you? What made you happy about this job?" Ralph Michael questioned. "Well, it gave me money to pay my bills, and my friends and customers made me happy," Charlene Darling explained. "Aha," Ralph Michael said as he tapped his chin. "One needs to pay his bills. But since you left this Speedy Burger, have you made any new acquaintances? Formed any new friendships that make you happy?" As a matter of fact, Charlene Darling rose to take a step down onto the floor beneath Ralph Michael. "I have met dozens of new acquaintances and made one very special friend in the last few days. I have had more adventure with him than I've had in my entire life." Ralph Michael folded his arms and asked, "And being slow has not been a problem the last few days?" Charlene replied, "Now that you mention it, not really. I've actually felt up to speed. My new friend helped me see that I can be a fast learner and a fast thinker. He showed me I could slow-mo karate," and Charlene Darling demonstrated, "and still fit in." Ralph Michael covered a grin and walked down the steps. "So," Ralph Michael said, "how do you apply the counsel given to you?" And he plopped down on the last step. "Ralph Mouth," said to surround yourself with those like yourself. It sounds like you have already done that with friends you have chosen inside and outside of Speedy Burger. You told me to move to Missouri, Charlene said respectfully as she took a step closer. Never mind that, my mind wanders, Ralph Michael quickly mumbled. Then he continued, the point is that you have formed good relationships. You are much further along than many. Ralph Lauren brought out that some things are worth striving for. They require practice. When you came here, you were sad that you could not make a burger quickly, move as fast as a jackrabbit, or apply lipstick at record speed. Are any of these things so important to you that you are willing to devote the time and effort to practice them? I don't really need to make a Speedy Burger, Charlene stated. It's just not important anymore. I would like to be able to run and swim fast. Lipstick is not so much an issue anymore, Charlene said as her green cheeks turned pink and her eyes fell to her shoes. So, Ralph Michael interjected, take up some jogging and swimming. Athletics is good for body and soul. He then stood up and walked a circle around Charlene Darling. Now, do you remember what Wreck-It Ralph said? He wanted to poke me with a pen, Charlene Darling exclaimed. Ralph Michael patted her on the shoulder as he passed. Don't worry, child. He wants to poke everyone with something. Wreck-It Ralph advised you to wipe out all preconceived notions and beliefs and start anew. Sometimes that is helpful to break from our past and to set new priorities in our lives. One priority you have revealed to me is relationships. You value friends and interactions with others. It is up to you to compile more priorities to your list. I advise taking a vacation, getting away from the normal routine in order to think and experience new things. This sometimes helps you to adjust your priorities, to find out what is truly meaningful to you. Charlene Darling thought out loud. I have actually been on a vacation ever since I left Speedy Burger. I saw and swam in the ocean. I met a very odd turtle who proved to be the best friend I've ever had. I sunned with cats, ran from a cat fight, mud wrestled a pig, got tossed through trees by Jamaican monkeys, met some mules and donkeys, tried to match-make a horse. How did that go? Ralph Michael interrupted. Not good, Charlene answered and continued. I danced amongst the ponies, slow-mo kung fu with the goats, and made the hyenas laugh to help save a caravan of pack rats. I have seen amazing things, met amazing animals, and eaten amazing food. Just then, Charlene Darling's stomach rumbled and growled so loudly it made Ralph Michael chuckle. Too bad your stomach is not as full as your life has been, my dear. You are a remarkable young lady with a good head on your shoulders and reliable friends to help you along the way. You think over the past few days and realize what you have learned. I have only one more question for you, Ralph Michael said as he looked into the young turtle's eyes. What is that? Charlene Darling asked. What do you dream about? Ralph Michael asked as he led Charlene Darling behind the curtain she entered around and opened the door to the waiting room. There was Tor. Hey, Gramps! Greeted a delighted Tor. Hey, Tory, my boy! Said Ralph Michael as he walked over to Tor and put an arm around him. Taking time out from your surfing to see your old grandpa? Actually, just spending time with my new friend, Gramps, Tor answered. I see, Ralph Michael said as he turned his eyes to a dumbfounded Charlene Darling. How'd it go, darling? Tor inquired. Ralph Michael is your grandpa? Charlene Darling blurted out. Then she murmured under her breath. They were all named Ralph. There's a standing joke amongst the turtles, Ralph Michael said. What's in a name? If you're in the Council of Turtles, It's Ralph. Ha! Ralph Michael let out a holler and slapped his knee. She's a smart one, Tori. Just needs to sort out some things. Before Ralph Michael got to the green door, he jumped into the air and clicked his heels together. Looking back at Charlene Darling, he winked. That's one of those things I have found meaningful to practice. You youngsters have fun and make good discoveries. Thank you, sir, Charlene Darling spoke as Ralph Michael closed the green door. Once on the other side, he pulled his glasses out of his shell lapel and whispered to himself, You can never tell what's in a turtle shell. Charlene Darling looked at Tor and repeated her question. Ralph Michael is your grandpa? Tor answered, Sure is, the one and only. Why didn't you tell me, Tor? Charlene Darling questioned. I told you I had peeps here, Tor said in defense. So, what do you think? Anything resolved? I know one thing, Charlene Darling remarked. I'm starving. Well, I know where to take care of that, darling, Tor assured and opened the door for Charlene Darling to exit the waiting room. Tea Hall had gotten busier than before. Assorted birds were draping garland, and squirrels were hanging shiny Christmas bulbs. Further on, 2 chipmunks were chattering about where to hang the mistletoe. Did you stay in the waiting room the whole time I was in the council? Charlene Darling inquired. Actually, my hunger got the best of me, Tor admitted. I grabbed some nuts from a machine and talked to some pigeons. As the turtles walked down some steps, Tor suggested, I know where the best hot dogs in town are served if you're in the mood. If it's close, it's perfect, answered Charlene. Just across the street, my dear. The Hot Diggity Dog, Tor pointed out. It's owned by a family of wiener dogs. Charlene Darling kept a steady pace while crossing traffic this time, and the two had a hot dog feast. Tor had the foot-long chili cheese King Coney with greens on the side. Charlene Darling had the Queenie Weenie with tots and tomato. Each turtle drank a tall lemonade parade made with a delectable combination of fruits. As tree trimming and Christmas decorating went on all around them, Charlene Darling revealed to Tor what each of the council members had said to her. Tor responded with, The Ralphs are quirky, but wise, and Gramps is the greatest. So, what advice applies to you, darling? It's kind of like fishing. The council dumps out their words of wisdom, and you fish out what you need. Surround myself with good friends like you, for one, Charlene Darling said thoughtfully. Done deal, Tor exclaimed. 2, practice things that are important for me to improve upon, Charlene said in continuance. 3, set new priorities. Whoa, digging deep, darling, Tor commented as he chewed. And 4, Charlene paused, hang out with you because you're the best vacation I know. Brilliant conclusion, Tor congratulated Charlene as he took his last bite of hot dog. Charlene Darling smiled and asked, So, what is next? Next, Tor said decisively, is the Hang with Tor tour, darling. No recreational vacational is complete without it. The turtles sucked their lemonade parades dry and set out to make the Tor tour. Next time, we'll read Chapter 10, Capital City. I'm so excited.